1.9 minGap. There's a lot of instructions here, but also a lot of examples, so make sure you read it before starting this problem. Attempt it on your own, and let's go over how I would do it. So this is just the simple header and return. Not too much explanation there. Should know how to do that by now. First thing that we're going to do is check if we are past an array with greater than 2 elements, because if not, we just want to return 0. So that's going to be a simple if check. We want to check our length, so our arr.length. If it is less than 3, meaning it is 2 and under, we are going to just return 0, an integer. Now, otherwise, we are going to continue on, and we are looking for a gap in two values. We don't need to sort this or anything. It comes in as is. And what we're going to want to do is find the gap in between here, find the gap in between here, and then so on and so forth. This is going to be strictly odd. So the way I'm doing this, a bit tired right now, so don't know if it's the most optimal way. Might not work if it were even. I actually do not think it would work if it were even. I think it would throw an array out of bounds exception. But since it is odd, it will work for this. It's the first thing I came up with, and it tells us right here how we could use this to our advantage if we wanted to expand upon this. So let's start off with our gap variable. Int gap is currently equal to, let's skip the first two by doing it in here. So we're saving a little bit of space in our for loop. So int gap is equal to our arr, the array at element 1, minus the array elements at index 0. So we're doing this. Let's set up a for loop. We're going to want int a to equal 1 now, so we start at 1, and we want to run it as long as it's less than our arr.length, and we will minus 1 from this. Now, I'm not going to do our a++ as we normally do. You'll see why in a second. These are the parameters I've set out for myself, and now we're going to code within them. So we want to get the first one, int a is equal to 1. We'll have int current be equal to this 1, which is our a, right? And we want to also look at the next one. So let's actually do a++. So the next time we call a, we will be at our next, which is why I didn't declare it here, put it right here. So int next is going to be equal to a. Now, there is a workaround around this. So the workaround could be like, if we had a++ in here, we could set current to be equal to a, and then just have next equal to current plus 1. That could work as well. In fact, let's try that when we're done with this. Let's update our gap. We're going to do that in a if statement after this. We want to store our current gap. So int current gap, and it's going to be equal to our arr next minus our arr with our current. So we're just getting the elements at these indexes. And if our current gap is less than our actual gap, we're going to set our gap equal to current gap because we want the smallest one. We can end this for loop, and then we just want to return. So let's press submit. We've passed 5 out of 5 tests. Cool. A way to optimize this is if we're not using current gap again, we can take this out and we can put this inside of our if statement. So let's take this out, put it inside of our if statement since we're only using it once. And it's saying that we cannot find the variable current gap. Oh, that's because, well, this gap does not exist anymore. So we might actually need it, or we can just put this in place of this also. But that's actually less optimizing because we have to make each of these longer. So using more than one instance, you're going to want to keep it like this. What else could we do? We said we were going to try a++ here. Let's see if this works. So a, and this is just a plus 1. Or we can do even current plus 1. It's really going to be the same thing. Let's see if it'll work. And this also works past 5 out of 5 tests. So this is just another way to do this. I think another best way to optimize this, let's actually change this to a, and we can change this to a plus 1. Let's try that out. So take these out, submit, pass 5 out of 5 tests. Might have been easier to understand it looking at this. You're going to want to probably make some comments, because just straight looking at it, you might get confused after coming back from it from a long time. This is the optimal way to solve for this problem, passing 5 out of 5 tests. That's 7.9 minGap.